Maastuinen Park near the border with Germany, and we spent here the day. It's just a really beautiful place. But anyhow, I thought I would make a video to answer the most asked question, which is, how do I make money on the road? How do I live? How do I pay for fuel, for food, and all of the necessary things? So I've made myself a list of possible incomes that you could have while on the go, and it's not a comprehensive list, but I guess I covered the most important bits. Think outside the box, and remember that it's always easier to spend less than to make more. So I will make another video on that another time, but just think of ways that you can reduce the amount of money, make your budget smaller, so that you don't have to work that hard to support yourself. And also, the less you work, the more free time you have, and obviously if you live in a van, you won't want to spend most of your time in the van anyway. You're living in a van because I guess you want to travel and see new places, so just think of ways to live with less. Yes. So I kind of divided the jobs in three. I look very organized and like I know what I'm doing with this pen, doesn't it? So yeah, I don't. So first, so I divided the jobs in three kinds. So seasonal jobs, self-employed jobs, and remote jobs as an employee. So I'm gonna start with the seasonal jobs, and also those are jobs that are, I think, feasible with the van lifestyle. If you were traveling just from one place to the other, backpacking, and not with a van, then you could have other options, I guess, but those are the ones that I think are suitable for van life. So the first one is seasonal jobs. So if you like nature, it could be fruit picking. Like for example in Scotland they do a lot of strawberry picking, but you could do the grape harvesting in the south of France, or the oil picking if you are in a country that does that in September. Any kind of jobs that are like short term, maybe 1 month, 2 months, where you can make a little bit of money. Usually they let you stay on site. There's people camping, or maybe they put some rooms available for you to sleep on. So if you have a van, you can just park there and work there. Then there are seasonal jobs on touristic sites, and for that I mean hotels, villages, that kind of thing. So in winter you could find, depending on what your past is and what your education is and what kind of job you've done, you could do work as a receptionist or as a waiter or as a chef in those kind of environments, and those are jobs that you can do in winter and summer. So in winter you could do work in skiing sites, and in summer just in beaches and lakes and that kind of thing. Also, if you are an instructor, it's really easy. You can find jobs as skiing teachers, snowboarding, kayak, rafting guides, you name it. If you're not a teacher and you are planning of hitting the road and you like any other sports, or you're good at any other sports, then take your time and get qualified, so then you have that in your pocket and you never know when it's gonna come at use. Then working in touristic villages, this I'm not a big fan of, but I thought I'd throw it out there anyway. So there's those all-inclusive villages, for example in Cuba, or like in really warm places, where you can go and live like 3 months and earn a bit of money, but you're always inside, and it's not the best job, but it's an option. Also cruise ships, but I guess with a van you wouldn't know where to live it, so probably no cruise ships. Working campings, yes, working campings as a custode, as a guardian, for the summer season, It's really good option because they usually give you a space to park the van or the tent that you have. Usually it's couples having with a caravan that stay there and do that. And they pay you a bit of money, and sometimes it's full-time, sometimes it's part-time, sometimes it shifts, but it allows you to have a free space to stay and to get paid. So that is a good option that I hope to be doing in the future. That's it for the seasonal jobs. You might think of plenty more, and please feel free to comment down below if you can think of any more. And then there are remote jobs as an employee, so that could be anything that involves using the internet to do your job basically. So it could be customer assistance, or answering emails, or answering the phone for a company. It could be social media manager, so posting pictures and well, you know what a social media manager is. Then site manutention and development. I am not too knowledgeable about web developer and things like that, but I know that there's a lot of jobs for people that can develop and maintain sites for companies. And then there's telemarketing, which is my least favorite one, but it can be a resource, an option if you're desperate. Then it depends on the kind of telemarketing. If it's there's better and worse telemarketing, but anyway, that's a job that you can do remotely. There's a couple of sites that post remote jobs opportunities, and the ones that I found are mainly in the US and Canada. I'll post them below. For Europe, I think that you would need really to look into more specific sites, or maybe even contact the companies directly and ask whether they need somebody to work remotely. And then we've got my favorite bit, which is the self-employed jobs option. And here you really need to be creative, willing to take risks, and patient, and have skills, most especially. But this is the job I think that will give you more satisfaction and that could be more sustainable in the long run. And there's so many jobs that you can do by just creating your own job, really, depending on what you like to do, what you can do, what your skills are. You can create your job around you. Usually for those jobs you will need internet, or for most of them you will. So I thought of freelance. Oh, what? You don't like self-employed jobs? So I thought of freelance jobs, so web developing, web builder, and those are probably the most common ones for people that live on the road, I think. To do a course for those, to learn how to build sites can be quite expensive, but if you think about it, they pay quite well to do those jobs, so you might want to invest in a course. Writing for sites and journals. Make music, that's a really nice one. So if you're good at playing instruments or singing, whatever it is, you could busk, although that's probably not going to bring you a lot of money, and it might, well, it depends on the cities, but in some cities you might have troubles and some not. But yeah, it's an option. Then playing at gigs, if you organize yourself ahead, and or in pubs as well, and selling your own music online if you compose. Then teach via Skype. This is a really good option. So whether you know a language, or you know how to play an instrument, or you are a life coach or a consultant for any kind of thing, then you can market yourself and find people that want to learn from you via Skype. The other options is make things. So whatever it is that you like doing, you like creating, there's probably going to be people that like what you do. So whether you do, you sew, you make jewelry, you work with wood, you make pottery, making pictures, art, painting, drawings, just try and think of ways that you could sell them. There are plenty of platforms where you can sell handmade stuff, and I use personally Etsy, This is a really cool thing because you get to do what you like to do, you get to be creative and also make a little bit of money out of it. You can also make stalls, so go to markets and fairs, craft fairs and things like that, and sell your stuff there. Then, yes, this is I can't remember how it's called. It has a name, but I can't remember what it is. It's when you create your own products, and then your products will be in a deposit, and you have a site where the orders come through. But when the orders come through, it's not you shipping the stuff, it's the deposit people. So let's say you make t-shirts. Your t-shirts are somewhere, I don't know, in Paris, and you're in Miami, then you basically don't need to do anything because your t-shirts are there, the people are gonna pack it and send it and ship it, and they're gonna make commission obviously on it, but most of the profit will go to you. So I think that's a really, really cool way of making money. But again, you need to be creative, you need to make a little bit of investment before. And then organize workshops. I know somebody, hi Fabio, that organizes vegan cooking workshops, and you can make quite a little bit of money with that. And the last one I thought is woofing. Sometimes they do pay. How I make money? Right now I sell my jewelry online, and but I'm not able to make a lot out of it. But I also found a translation job. Well, the translation job found me, and it's a job where I can just translate the texts and send them to the company wherever I am, and they just pay by text.